All right. Welcome, everybody. It is our social marketing class, week 2. We are covering, this week, we're going to be covering how to post, and we're going to be starting, almost like starting a 2 to 3 part series on how to post authentically. Okay. So if you took this class with us last quarter, we squeezed a lot of content into this class. And so with just the ever changing, wonderful thing that Facebook and Instagram are, there's some things that have been changed, so we're going to add these things in. There's some training we've gotten from corporate that we're going to add in, and then we're going to also take some things out and shift that to next week. So if you've taken this class before, you're actually getting more content. Okay, so, and a little bit more detailed content. So I'm excited about this because we're not going to just squeeze it all into this one week. So this week we are going to be talking about getting to know your audience and how to post to your audience as your own self. Okay. Last week, just to kind of recap, last week we talked about the 5 different avenues that we use the most. That is Instagram, Instagram stories, Facebook, Facebook stories, and Messenger. Okay. We talked about your storefront, keeping your storefront clean, making sure there's no graffiti all over your storefront, making sure that you're being professional, making sure that your bio is all set. Okay. I loved seeing some of your bios. Y'all had like great pictures. Everybody's been working on their bio and kind of tweaking it to make sure that when someone goes to your page, before they even scroll, they know exactly what to expect from you and your page. Okay, so y'all did really good on that. So if you did not watch last week's week 1, please go back and make sure you watch that, and then build each week onto the content from before. So this is why we were very clear about, if you were starting this new quarter with us, we wanted to make sure that you actually watched week 1 before we had you jump into week 2, because we want you to build on these things, not jump in halfway through and now you're trying to like completely redo your Facebook or Instagram and you're not sure what you're doing. So make sure you're watching the previous week and build from there. All right, so with this week, like I said, we're going to be talking about posting authentically, getting to know your audience. And there are a few different people that you talk to when you talk to your audience. And Kristen's going to talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so like Natalie said, when you're posting, you want to be intentional about who you're posting to. And since we do offer so much here at Plexus, that is going to look a little different depending on who you're talking to, right? And we want to attract all kinds of different people. So you just want to be intentional about that as you're posting, and think about that. We want to have a variety of different types of posts. We don't want our feed to look just exactly the same all the time. If all you're doing is posting about, product information, that would get really boring and you'd only be talking to one type of person. So a really good book that you can read that is super easy is called The 4 Color Personalities for MLM. It's like the easiest read and it's so simple, but it helps so much. And so I'll quickly go over what those 4 colors are and kind of, in a nutshell, what those type of people are looking for and what speaks to those people. And so you'll want to be thinking about that when you are posting, and so that you are getting a variety of different posts on your feed. So the first type of person is the yellow personality. And the yellow personality, all you need to remember is the word help. Those are our helpers. These are the ones that are going to be motivated by the fact that what we do at Plexus helps so many people, whether that's with their, their weight or their, some health goals that they're having. We are helping them with that, whether that's helping mamas stay home with their babies by helping them financially. We're going to talk about all the things that Plexus does to help others. That could even be, they might be the ones that are going to be interested in knowing that, Nourish One mission, right? Our Plexus, how Plexus gives back to the community, and how we are, that's something that is a value to us that we, hold dear, is that we want to give back to our community. That's going to speak to a yellow. The next personality type would be your blue. And the blues, the word you need to remember is party. Blues are your party people. They are the ones that, fun is going to speak to them. Community is going to speak to them. These are the ones that, you may want to talk about your trips and the things that you do with, the friendships that you're going to make, and how you get to, just build these long life friendships and have so much fun whenever you go to the, win different contests and all the different corporate events or all the team events. You're going to really, that's when you're talking about those things. And that's who you're going to be attracting when you do. The third one is going to be red. And a red, the word you need to remember is money. These are your competitive, driven people that are going to be motivated by money. And so when you are talking about, the compensation plans and how generous it is, how the contest that we have and how they can be the one to win the contest, that's going to motivate a red. The last one is going to be your green. And your green, the word you need to remember is information. These are your people that want to know what's in the products. How does that compensation plan work exactly? They want to know the details. They want to know all the little ins and outs of what they're getting into. They want to know all of that before they can even make a decision. So this is whenever you would do a product post or, something like I said about the compensation plan, and you're going to tell more of those details, that's going to attract that person. And then Natalie, I know, wants to talk about how we can kind of weave this idea of speaking to people and targeting people specifically into kind of where our brand is going as a company, like how we're trying to post authentically on these platforms and how we can do that and also target these 4 groups.
Yeah, that's so good. I think it's important too for us to know, kind of recognize what color you are too, because you tend to speak in that color. Okay. So, for example, I am very much a red blue. Okay. And a lot of people, that's hard to swallow. Like, I am not motivated by money. Yes, I am. I'm motivated by money, and I can talk income all day. I can talk compensation plan all day. All right. If you're on my team, which all of you are, you're probably sitting down with me and I'm going, do you know how much money this equates to at the end of the month if you hit this goal? Like, that's how I speak. So one way that I'm trying to change in the way that I speak to people is that's not always what motivates people, where if I'm talking to a yellow, I'd be like, do you understand that if you do that, then, Sarah gets to stay home with her babies because now she's hit her goal that said she gets to come home and be home with her babies. And you just helped her do that. Like, that's how you want to speak to a yellow, so it's like, that's something, it's good for you to recognize what your color is so that you know how you're speaking, so that you can start speaking in those different colors. Okay. Also being a blue, like, I'm all about a party. So talk to me about a party and I'm your girl. I'm there. Like, pay me to go to this party and I'm your best friend in the entire world, so it's okay to just call out your color, recognize it for what it is. There's not one color that's worse or better than another color. Every color has its strengths. We need every color. Okay. So make sure that you're talking to all those different colors, like Kristen said. I love that.
This reminds me a little bit, if you've ever read, the 5 love languages and how you tend to speak the love language that you want to receive, right? It's kind of the same idea. When, like, with your spouse, you need to learn to speak their love language. It's the same type of deal. You are going to modify your message. It's all this. We know that Plexus has so much to offer and we believe in all of it, but you want to modify your message and focus on certain areas depending on who you're talking to and who you're trying to attract.
Yeah, I love that. Exactly. That's exactly the same concept. Is you're going to talk in whatever color you are, just like you love in whatever your love language is. So, there's 4 different principles when it comes to posting authentically, that we need to keep in mind. Because here's the thing: when you're doing a product post, what I never want you to do is I never want you to pull up a graphic off Pinterest that you found of ease, because there's probably a bottle of ease from 4 years ago that doesn't even look the same. By the way, we just rebranded. Hello, and it is so beautiful. You guys have to see these bottles. You have 48 hours to order triplex so that you can get the new bottles and the new packaging in your hands. And so I'm ordering it. I already ordered my products this month, but I'm ordering it anyways because I want to be able to just like touch them and feel them and like market with them. And so they're just so beautiful. But anyways, look at those bottles. Okay, look at the packaging. And I think if you look at the new packaging, the reason I'm bringing that up is you kind of get a feel for like where the company is going and how they want us to be marketing. Okay. It's very fresh. It's very simple. It's very authentic. It's very natural. It's very real. It's very clean. They're not going for, hey, I have this hot pink graphic that, looks like a 5th grader did on, Microsoft, whatever, presenter, I don't know, what is it? No, I don't know, whatever it is. Anyways, I don't make presentations, but it looks like a fifth grader made this on clip art. And so we're going to throw this up and we're going to put all the 18 ingredients that Ease has on it. Okay. That's not what we're looking for. That doesn't help anybody. Even your greens are going to be like, okay, about something like that. Okay. So there's a way that you can post authentically and weave in these different ideas and concepts and make your story fresh and make your feed fresh and make it somewhere where people want to come. Guys, there's so much noise going on around us all the time, right? We are just inundated with just noise, whether it's noise on Facebook, noise in our, the way our house looks, noise in our children, noise in how we got to eat healthy, we got to keep up with social relationships. People now are craving simplicity and like minimalistic ideas. Okay. People are craving simplicity right now. And so the simpler and the cleaner and the fresher that we can make this, the more that people are going to stop and read what you have to say. If you've got a crazy, colorful graphic that is just messy, and then you've got a bunch of words on there, that's too much. It's too much noise. Okay. It's okay. It's okay to have a long post. It's not okay to, have a whole bunch of words in there with all these different vitamins and nutrients and scientific words and everything that most people probably won't even recognize. Okay. So what you want to keep in mind is you want to be casting yes, I love what Kristen said. No one wants to watch infomercials. Okay. No one wants to watch them. The only people that want to watch infomercials are the people that are up at 2 a.m., can't sleep. There's nothing else on TV to watch. Okay. Nobody wants to watch that. Otherwise, we completely scroll past commercials. We scroll past that stuff. Okay.
Which means the algorithm's not going to show it. So even your greens, even if it did interest them, they're not going to see it.
Exactly. You want, and that's the thing, is we're working with an algorithm, right? We talked about that a little bit last week. We'll talk about that more as we go. You're working with an algorithm. So you want to post something that makes people stop. By the way, the algorithm is so tricky and so clever. It knows when people are scrolling, even if they don't click on your post, it knows when they stop and back up to your post. It marks that. It flags your post in a good way. It flags your post like, oh, somebody went back up and stopped on that post. Okay. So they're going to show more of that to people. How many more people are stopping on that post to read it? How many people are clicking see more on your post? Okay. How many, like all of that stuff dings the algorithm. So, and it tells whether good or bad, it's going to show the algorithm that you're being seen or not being seen, or that people care about what you have to say. Okay. So a lot of times, if people see that it's a big old long post, they'll just keep scrolling. Some people love reading long posts. So that's what I'm saying is like, do a little bit of everything. You don't have to constantly have this massive inspirational post, and you don't always just like, and I definitely wouldn't always just do a 2-word thing every single time, or a 2-sentence thing every single time either. Have a little bit of both when you're shake it up a little bit, because you're gonna have all different types of people that want to look at what you have to say. So the 4 different principles of posting authentically, they touched on this with our new branding last night. And I thought it was so good. I wanted to roll it over into our social media class because I think it really is pertinent. It was perfect timing, because I knew we were talking about branding and posting authentically today. And then when they touched on this last night, I was like, adding that to the class because it's so good. Okay, so the first one is know your controlling idea. Okay, so this is like, what is your story? What are you trying to accomplish in this, right? Who's your customer? That's a good way for you to write down. One thing for you to write down is like, who is my customer? Who am I trying to reach with each post? Am I just reaching people that are already on my team? Because if I'm just reaching people that are already on my team, then it's not helping me at all. If I'm just talking to people that are already part of Plexus, if I'm talking to just people that are interested in gut health, like there's a lot of people that don't know anything about gut health. So keep in mind, you want to make sure that you are, you have in mind who your customer is. Kristen, do you have anything to add so far?
Sounds good.
Okay. So you were looking, I was like, is she looking? Because you're really small now. I lost you on the big screen. So she's really small. Okay, there you are. Now you're
back.
Yes, you're back.
You're like, will you add something so that you'll be back on my screen?
Is there something you want to add?
Sorry. Sorry. I felt like I was a kid in school.
No, that's okay. Anyways, so know who your customer is. And so go through and write down who you're looking for as your customer base. Okay. This will also help you kind of find your niche. So for me, I know that I'm specifically looking for, because I know how to coach these people really well. I'm looking for anybody. Anybody could benefit from plexus. Anybody could benefit from gut health. But I know who I can relate to are mamas that got a lot of kids, specifically mamas with girls, and ones that are, maybe don't have a purpose. And I don't want to go back to work, but I don't want to just be a stay-at-home mom either, so it's like, for me, that's kind of my target audience, and that's who I'm looking for. Somebody might be looking at empty nesters. Maybe you're targeting homeschooling moms. Maybe you're targeting sports moms. I know Kristen, her niche right now that she's working on is targeting moms of teenagers. And so there's different ways, and it doesn't have to be moms. I know I'm saying a lot with moms, but I know a lot of us on here are moms. Maybe you are you're really into gardening, so you're looking for other gardeners. Maybe you are into cooking, so you're looking at like people who love to cook and want to like really value health and cleanliness in their ingredients and things like that. So there's different people that you can target. If you're a college girl and you're trying to target other college students, what's going to target college students your age? So there's different ways that you can think about this. And just, I would encourage you, as your homework this week, to go through and write down who your target customer is. Who are you looking at? Again, this does not say this is all I'm selling to. Okay. I hope that even though I'm going for moms that have nothing, I hope that I also get the 60-year-old man who's getting ready to retire, who's burnt out at work. Everybody's welcome on my team. And I've got a place for everybody. And I'm going to talk to everybody and love on everybody and coach everybody. But there is a specific audience that I'm talking to because that's my specific niche. Okay. So know who your customer is. So you're going to want to know what your controlling idea is. Have an idea. Don't get a million different ideas in your head and try to post all of those in your one post. Okay. Write them all down and see what you can do to make each of them a post. And then you've got one controlling idea that you're running with throughout your post. Okay. So have one theme that you're going with. That's principle one, is know your controlling idea. Principle two is to position your customer as the main character of your story. Okay. The way this works is you want to make sure that you are not getting wrapped up in a me posting mentality. Okay. We can all be guilty of that. I have been very guilty of that. So, and it's not, most of us aren't doing it with a me, thought process, but it's very easy for us to we want to tell our stories. We want to tell how these products have changed us. And so next thing we know, we're posting a lot about what we're doing, and it's becoming about how we're getting changed and we feel and whatever, and we're not making our audience a part of our story. We're not making them the main character of our story. Okay, so find a way that you can attach to that customer that you're going for and make them the hero of your story. How can you help them? How can you help them? What can these products help do with energy, but what can it do for them? I mean, see what I'm saying? It's making that shift from this is about me, what these products have done for me, into, hey, here's something that I've experienced and I want to help you experience that same exact thing. I know that you are going through this and you're dealing with this and whatever. And listen, I was there too, but this is about you and how we can help you and you experiencing transformation, and talking to that person and making your customer the main character of your story. Okay. This is not something that's good, but mind you, this is something that we're all going to have to work on. Okay. It's myself included, and it's not going to change tomorrow. This is something that's going to take some time to develop and work on. And I would go through and ask yourself, as you're scrolling through your feed, ask yourself, who is my customer? Does this, target my customer? And do these posts make them the main character of the story, or is it mainly making me the main character of the story? Okay. And again, I'm still learning on how to coach on this, to be very honest with you, because it's something that's kind of new in the social media world. This isn't even just Plexus. This is something the social media world is training right now. Right now, it's on the cusp. It's the front end of how to post authentically on social media, because I'm going to be honest with you, 2 months ago, it was me. Maybe not 2 months ago, but last year, it was me. People were wanted to see what other people were doing. They wanted to be part of their lives. They wanted to watch what they were doing. So it was it was heavy on, and they will tell you this, post as much about yourself, be relatable to people. And people want to hear and see what you are doing. People want to know. Well, now it's moving towards people want to know what you have to offer them. People want to know what value you add to their lives. They don't necessarily care what you're doing every day of, every day, all day, but they care what value that adds to their lives. Okay. So have your mindset switch from Is this about me, or is this adding value to my customer and how I can help them experience transformation? Remember, we are not going for transaction. We are going for transformation. There's a huge difference. I'm not going for a quick welcome pack sale. Okay. I am going for how can I help you experience long-term health benefits? And how can I help you find, time freedom, find community, find an income when you want to be home with your kids or whatever. Maybe you're getting ready to retire and you want to have something that's yours. Or, there's people are in all different seasons of life. Don't count people out just because you think that they've got, they've already got too much on their plate, or they've already got too much money, or they don't even have the money to purchase the product. You don't know where people are at, and you don't know what they're willing to do, and you have no idea where their priorities are. Okay. So never rule anybody out. Okay. Anybody is ready to join your team at any time. And you need to keep that in mind, that you could be talking to a diamond on your team, a future diamond on your team, and you don't even realize it. Okay. So when you're posting, think about who's a future diamond on my team that's lost right now that I need to be talking to right now. Okay. Think about those things. Think through that lens. Principle number 3, know where to place the product in the context of the larger narrative. Okay. There's a lot I could coach on this. So I'm having a hard time narrowing down what exactly I want to say. And I loved what they said last night, but I wanted to expand on that. So knowing where to place the product in the context of the larger narrative. Can I tell you this? It's not, and I feel funny saying this considering we're all posting product pictures right now because we rebranded. That's a totally different scenario. Okay. The product does not belong as the focal point of your picture. I'm going to tell you that right this second. Okay. That is not where the product belongs in your picture. I would dare even say that we're kind of moving away from here's my pink drink. We're kind of moving away from that, even more into you're taking a picture of you doing life. And, if you have your pink drink with you, you're holding it in your hand, but it's not the main focal point of your picture, right? You are the main focal point of your picture, and this is a part of your life. Your kids are playing outside and they're drinking their microbiome, Mega Kids microbiome. That's not the main point of the picture. Your children are. This is just a part of their lives. Okay. So you make you the focal point, which is funny because I literally just said, don't make you the focal point, but you know what I'm saying? In your pictures, they want to trust you. They want to know what you have to offer. So what you in your life needs to be the focal point, and how these products are helping you. These are just a part of it. Okay. So try to eliminate product pictures from your posts. Okay. It does look like a commercial. We want to kind of move away from that. It used to be a thing. Now it's moving into this is the life that I'm experiencing, and these products are a part of it. Okay. Yes. Jennifer Cobb does a teaching on this called Normalize the Pink Drink. And it's just a normal part of our lives. You're going to see it in my pictures. Okay. I'm probably going to, if you have a picture of me working, I'm going to have my pink drink right here next to me working. It won't be in this. It'll be in something, that they can see the pink drink. But, you're going to have this, if I'm talking about, my job or whatever, you're just going to see my pink drink next to me. One of the examples she uses is ready for soccer. And it's got her coffee, her pink drink, and the soccer bag all right there. It's just it doesn't have to be the main focal point for it to be your Plexus post. Does that make sense? In fact,
or doing a story and talking on your story. Yeah. And you're just fixing up your pink drink, but you're not talking about your pink drink. You're talking about your workout that day, or just what you're going to be doing later on. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be the focal point for it to still show people that this is not just your job. This is not you just trying to promote a product. This is something that is incorporated into your life, and it's something you do. You're a product of the product, and it makes it to where they can see, wow, if I were to start doing this, I wouldn't have to become an infomercial, because a lot of people are scared that they're going to have to become salesy, and they don't like that. People don't like to be sold to. So they can share in an authentic way just by making it a part of your life, doing whatever you're doing, but you're mixing up your pink drink, or you're drinking a lean shake while you're talking to your audience. Same concept, but in post form versus story form, or wherever you are and wherever you're promoting on those platforms.
Yeah, I love that you made that point. People are watching, because if you will have people that are interested in doing what you're doing. And if they're watching and all they see is a bunch of infomercial and commercial type posts, they don't want to post that. But if they see that it's just as easy as I've just got my pink drink in my pictures with me, that's easier to follow. That's something I could do. I can easily do that if I don't have to constantly be puking Plexus all over. Okay. There's a way to talk about Plexus and how it's changing your lives and the products that are changing your lives without it being salesy. Okay. Even when you're in your your caption, even in your caption, it needs to be a small part of what you're like, a small part of what you're doing. I would say this, Genevieve coached on this at Gold School. Jessica Tanner can back me up on this. She says, eliminate numbers from your posts. Okay. Eliminate numbers. So if you're talking about how much this product costs, eliminate that. Okay. It is one thing if you are like, you know, we got a sale and it's ending and here's something which honestly, I'm even trying to get away from even doing that at all. I just want people to buy the products because they love the products and they would pay full price for the products. Okay. Because I'm adding value to that. Try to eliminate numbers from your posts as much as possible. Okay. Eliminating a bunch of statistics from your posts, eliminating, like, most people don't care about that stuff. And most people don't believe statistics either. Like, how many statistics do you read and you're like, is that really a statistic? I know I do it all the time. Most people don't even believe statistics. So throwing out statistics half the time does nothing for your credibility. Anyone can make up a statistic and throw on the internet. There's no credibility there. Okay. So, but what there is credibility in is you and your story and people seeing life change and how you can help others experience that same life change. There's credibility in that. Okay. So when you are talking about the pink drink and you want to say that, you know, how it's helping you. Okay. Yeah. It's really helped to, you know, I'm thankful for my pink drink that has really helped to balance the gut microbes in my system so that, you know, it can actually help my body function in the way that it's supposed to. Here's the other thing is if you're posting authentically and posting your story and not getting super like technical with like product stuff, you're going to eliminate a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Compliance issues. Okay. So here's the thing is, and you're gonna see this with any natural company. Okay, any natural company at all. Even like Whole Foods has to be careful what they say about certain things. Okay, because basically is the FTC something like that. They basically have said you cannot say that these products cure diseases because if they cure diseases, it is a pharmaceutical. And who's the only person that can sell a pharmaceutical? It is a doctor. Okay, and if you are not a doctor, you are not allowed to be talking about this. Okay, so keep in mind. They love natural products, but only doctors can prescribe pharmaceuticals. Okay. And if we're saying it cures a disease, now it's become a pharmaceutical. So you cannot say that. Okay. There's a lot of things that you cannot say. So we can do compliance training all day long. I'm not even going to get into that, but there's things that you can say and can't say or whatever. But basically, you cannot say that it is curing something in your body, right? You cannot say that publicly. So if you're just talking about what you're experiencing and like, man, I just have like, instead of saying, you know what, it actually 100% cured my diverticulitis. And now I, you know, don't even have that anymore. And this is all great. And now I have my life back. Can't say that. What you can say is, man, you know what? I used to have some really bad flare-ups from a stomach issue that I had. And you know what, by really focusing on my gut health with some amazing products, I've been able to eliminate a lot of those symptom flare-ups. And I'm experiencing a life that I haven't experienced in a long time. Okay. That's not only compliance friendly, it's also audience friendly. People want to read about that. Okay. When you're sitting here saying it cleared this, you know, people are going, yeah, right. Okay. You know, especially people that are experiencing diverticulitis, you know, a lot of them know there really isn't much of a cure for it. It's just managing symptoms. So if you're talking to somebody like that, you just eliminate a bunch of people that you might have been talking to about diverticulitis because they know that it can't cure diverticulitis. But if you're talking about the freedom that you're experiencing because you've really started focusing on your gut health and just balancing your gut microbes has really helped with a lot of those symptoms, they're gonna be like, that's what I need. I need something like that. Okay, they're gonna believe that and they're gonna want to know more about that. So just focusing on your story and making it a part of making Plexus a part of your story is more authentic. Okay, that's posting authentically. All right, stay away from the graphics for the loves. Stay away from the graphics. Stay away from getting on Pinterest and finding the latest, you know, slim this versus that graphic and working with it that way. Hold on 1 second, baby. Okay, run in there, go potty. Okay. Okay, I'll text Daddy and have him come help you. Okay. Okay. So you're going to want to make sure that you're making the story and your customer the hero, not the product, right? That's what we really want to focus on. The last thing that we want to do, principle number 4, is offer transformation. Okay. We're not offering a transaction. Sorry, I'm trying to stay Emery. has to go potty. There we go. We're not offering a transaction. This is why we're eliminating numbers from our posts. Okay, we don't need to talk numbers. This isn't about like, here, if you do this with me, we can have a transaction by this evening and you will save this much money. We're not offering transactions. We're offering transformation. We're offering an opportunity for them to come in and experience wellness and experience freedom and experience something that they haven't experienced in a long time. Maybe they're experiencing community that they haven't experienced in a long time. Maybe they're experiencing, maybe they are experiencing an income that they haven't been able to see in a long time. Like there's things that you can offer that can completely change their lives outside of how much money they can save today. We're not looking for a transaction. Okay, we're offering transformation. So when you're posting authentically, make sure that you're offering what that transformation looks like. So the 4 principles that we are working with is know your controlling idea. Okay, stick with one theme and work with that. Don't try and do 4, I got all these ideas and how do I weave them together? No, write them down. Do 4 different posts. Trust me, you're going to have times where you don't know what to post. You're going to thank yourself that you did put everything all in one post, that you have different post ideas. Principle number 2, position your customer as the main character of the story. Okay, so who are you talking to that day? Are you talking to golds? Are you talking to yellows? Are you talking to greens? Are you talking to purples? Are you talking to reds? Okay, know who your customer is and make sure that you're making them the main character of that story. Okay, make sure that you are knowing where to place the product in the context of the larger narrative. Okay, the product is not the focal point. Okay. Yes, we are rebranding. So a lot of us are posting about the products right now. It's a completely different scenario, but as a general rule, we are not posting product pictures as the general hero. And then offer transformation. We're offering transformation to our customers. We're not just offering a quick transaction. I'm not in it for a quick sale, you guys. That does not help you. If you do not explain upfront that this is a 60, 90-day healing process, that this is something that they're going to want to stick with, that this is a lifestyle, that this is something they're going to want to stick with, that's not residual income. You might get a quick $20 this month, but that's not going to give you residual income, which is what y'all are looking for. Okay. So just be upfront and honest with what this is and where it's at. This is the best we can offer people. We aren't a quick fix thing. Don't offer a quick fix. Okay. Emily had a post a couple weeks ago and I loved it. It was like, my supplements made me lose 10 pounds. And then she said, nope, that's a crock of poop. And had the little poop emoji. And she was like, what my supplements did do for me is they allowed me to have the energy and, the motivation to get up and get moving and got my body moving and helped me to absorb nutrients and I had a lot of hard work that went into me losing that 10 pounds. My supplements are just what helped me get motivated to put in that hard work. Okay. So keep that in mind when you're talking about what we have to offer. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about knowing your audience and posting authentically so far? We're going to go into more detail in some of this next week, and we're going to go into building your belief on what you have to offer and what your brand is and what value you have to offer. We're going to go into that next week. But on what we covered this week, does anyone have any questions? Doesn't look like it. Okay, awesome. Well, I'll go ahead and get this recording converted and dropped into our chat. It will be on my YouTube. If you don't see it in the chat, you can just search my name up on YouTube and we have the weeks in there. So if you go to the playlist, you'll see the social marketing class playlist, follow that and they'll all be in there. So, all right, well, thank you guys. Like I said, your homework for this week is to go and write down what type of customer you are wanting to attract, okay? And be very be picky about it. Okay, be picky. Don't just be like, well, I want to have everybody. Well, yes, you'll get a little bit of everybody. We're not saying you have to eliminate everybody else. Just who's the one person I'm definitely going for that I want to attract in my post, and start writing down what that customer is. Drop that into your three-way chats with your sponsor and their sponsor once you have that written down. And I'm sure they would love to kind of help you narrow down your niche, and so that we can start working towards next week's, which is what your brand is and what value you can add. All right. Thanks, you guys. Y'all have a great week, and we will see you. We'll see you next week.